first glance, it feels familiar. A group of college guys, a casino, a wild idea tossed around like a joke. It's not a gang, not a plan, just boredom turning into curiosity. 5. Against the House plays it differently. It's not loud, it's not flashy. It lets you settle in, and then starts pulling at something deeper. This isn't really about robbing a casino. It's about what people carry with them after war. About the cracks in friendship no one wants to admit are there. And there's Kim Novak. Still early in her career, but already you can't take your eyes off her. Not because of what she says, but how she holds herself. You can feel why Hitchcock would later make her his muse. So yeah, it starts like a prank, but it turns into something stranger and sadder and more real. Let's get into it.
I don't stay home anymore.
At college, 4 friends live like any other students, joking, arguing, hanging out. But 2 of them aren't just students. They've seen war. One seems fine. The other came back without visible scars, but something inside him is clearly fractured. One day, they witness a failed robbery. And suddenly, everything shifts. What starts as curiosity becomes a challenge, a puzzle. What if we're not reckless criminals, but smart guys who can plan it right, think it through, and prove that a perfect crime is possible? But this experiment comes with too many variables. There's a girl, not just a love interest, but someone who might see the cracks before the others do. And at some point, she realizes just how far things could spiral. At first, it all feels manageable, but the tension starts to build. The one who sparked the idea begins to lose control. The calmest one starts to get scared. And the friendship they all took for granted turns out to be far less solid than it seemed. The film plays with contrast, between casual and serious, between jokes and real danger. And that's what makes it compelling. You never quite know where it's heading or how far the joke will go before no one's laughing anymore. So if it sounds like just another crime flick, hold that thought. We're about to unpack it.
You're talking like this could be done. I mean, actually.
It can be done, Brick, and I mean actually.
The strongest part of this film isn't the heist. It's what happens between 2 men who went through war and came out the other side completely different. One of them is calm, collected, trying to move on. And the other, Brick, seems the same at first. But something inside him is off. He doesn't shout, doesn't lash out. He just bottles things up. Until he doesn't. And here's where the film does something rare for its time. It doesn't turn him into a villain. It doesn't diagnose, dramatize, or blame. It simply shows what PTSD can look like. Quiet, invisible, and dangerously close. It's not a warning. It's not a lecture. It's empathy. This film doesn't rush. It doesn't scream. It just shows how a joke can spiral, how trauma can hide behind banter, and how fragile even the strongest friendships can be. 5. Against the House isn't really about robbing a casino. It's about what happens when you think you've got it all figured out. But you're wrong. 5. Against the House doesn't shout. It's not a masterpiece or a manifesto, but it's precise, honest, and quietly observant, in ways that bigger films often miss. It doesn't just tell a story, it lets you feel the weight people carry, even when no one talks about it. Sometimes a film doesn't need to impress, it just needs to give that weight a name. And then there's Kim Novak, still at the start of her career, but already magnetic. There's something moving about watching a moment before it turns into legend. This isn't a story about things falling apart. It's about how fragile connections can sometimes be the only thing holding us together.